No. This is our first take. Hi, everyone. Hey! Hello, everyone. This is Chat Give You Tea. I'm your host, Webby.
And I'm your co-host, Abby.
And today, we are talking about studying abroad in the UK.
Yeah, we're just going to have a little chit-chat. If you're moving to the UK, we're giving you some tips. And if you're already here, you can relate to our experiences as well.
And just have a little chat, grab some food, get your homework, do whatever.
Yeah.
Have a great time. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Let's not waste people's times. What was the hardest thing you had to endure since coming to the UK? Let's do quick topics and then go deep into each topic that we come up with.
Oh, that.
So let's do a quick fire. I think racism is one of them. Finding friends is one of them.
Definitely. I think, especially because I didn't really fit into the Asian community in a way. Especially with the mainland Chinese, because I don't really speak very good Mandarin. I should have learned better, but that was definitely one of the biggest things.
So racism, friends, and kind of loneliness and kind of cultural differences.
And especially just it's such a different vibe and environment compared to back at home.
Okay, so let's start. Firstly, the most difficult thing we had to endure. Let's start straight on racism. Let's go.
Hard topic.
No, but I think if you're coming to the UK, it would be really helpful for you to hear about these things and kind of be prepared.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So do you want to start? What's the worst for racism, or kind of impacted you the most, racism?
I think for me, it's probably just the fact that during COVID was probably the worst for me. People would come up and tell me you're the reason why we have COVID here, and that was pretty bad. It made me feel really shit about myself. It's I can't help it, can I? And I mean, we have this experience all the time where people come out to us and say ni hao or konnichiwa for some reason.
We've experienced this together, but I think it's important to kind of contextualize it, because we are from Hong Kong, where it's a very homogenous one race. We would barely see anyone that isn't East Asian.
True.
So obviously there's a lot of things that are racist that we wouldn't clock at first, and I think so experiences I don't know, during COVID, to continue on your point, being put at the back of the restaurant instead of the front because people didn't want them to see that there was Asians in the restaurant and stuff like that. But it has definitely gotten better. But microaggressions and ni haos and oh, do you listen to BTS, shit like that. I think it would be I didn't think it was real because I was so sheltered in Hong Kong where racism didn't really touch me. But coming to the UK was a little I didn't think it would happen to me, but it will happen to you.
I mean, at the same time though, I kind of just take it as a joke at this rate, and I just kind of play along with it.
Yeah.
And I kind of I just kind of just play along with it, to be very honest. And even as an Asian, sometimes I just make fun, friendly fire, make fun of my own race at times. But of course, when it comes from people of a different race, it comes off as a bit different. Yeah. But I definitely take microaggression differently to you sometimes.
Yeah.
But
so you don't think it was the hardest thing you had to endure?
I think it's something that you're gonna have to be aware of. But I feel because there has been such an increase of Asians, especially if you live in London, right?
Yeah. When
you live outskirts. So I studied in the Midlands area for a very long time, and that's where you feel it the most. Yeah. There was a friend of mine, his sister got barked at on the street.
Yeah.
That shit, especially in the Midlands area, is a lot more prominent.
Yeah.
But when you're in London, I think it's slightly better just because you're surrounded by people all of different races at the same time.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a difference in the area that you're in. I think the craziest experiences that I've had, I don't think it's the most difficult thing, because I think it's not necessarily on the forefront of my mind. Just as you said, you kind of learn to adapt to it, but at first it's kind of definitely a shock. The worst I've experienced was physical things, so getting spat on, getting kicked. So I think in like I got kicked in Oxford, and I got spat on in Whitechapel twice. And it's like I think it's like definitely because I don't like it's about like your mentality, right? Like how you like let it like consume you and whatnot. But it's definitely a very different and difficult experience to have. And you don't really know how to respond to it at first. So do you have any advice on how to respond to racism to that extent?
I think it so depends on who you are.
Yeah.
Like, if you're the type to like, especially because we're like
Also,
5 foot,
yeah.
we're like 5 foot and we're girls, right? Like, it's so difficult to like stand up for yourself at times.
Yeah.
Because if you start a fight, like,
you gotta pick and choose, like especially for like small Asian girls, like it's like we kind of have the like privilege of feeling safe back home, but like you could not fight a white man, like in this country, so you have to pick and choose your battles for sure.
It's not great, but and on that note, like when you walk down the streets at night of London, like it's so different from back home in Hong Kong. Like I would go home at night and I'd feel completely safe. Like but here, like best believe I'm worried like or I'll even try to like call friends like on my way back home.
Definitely call your friends. I think, and it's like people will try to say like it's a London issue, but it's really not. Like even when I was in Oxford, I studied briefly in Oxford, like I did not feel as safe as with in Hong Kong, but like I do feel like there's an extent of it which I can't deny is like us just being in a foreign environment, so it just makes it a bit more scary. But
I also feel like though, because like you know the places where in Hong Kong you don't feel safe. Like let's say you're going to like LKF and you're walking past pubs. But
like
the thing is, it's such a big like culture here drinking to the point where you're worried you're gonna bump into like a drunk person and like especially like it reaches far past microaggression at that point when you're meeting someone that's like fully drunk or like on drugs, like and that can get quite scary. And because there's such a massive drinking culture, especially during the weekends, it just feels quite unsafe.
And like you definitely like I've had experiences, I'm sure you've had as well, like people just like following you. So I think to come back to it, like a good response, I think our audience, our primary audience at least that we're trying to like get to, will be like little Asian girlies like us, or maybe boys, I don't know. but like if you're not like experienced in this type of environment, I'd say like as much as it's like an instinct to stick up for yourself, I think pick and choose your battles. Sometimes like not speaking or like just asking them very nicely like can you please leave me alone goes a long way. And like for microaggressions, I think it's a very different thing. I think, well, do you have anything else to add for like how to respond to it?
Not really. Like it is a difficult scenario to be in, but at the same time it's so like the sad fact is there's not a lot you can do, and it because
phone
it's just phone a friend, know.
If it's getting a bit too scary, like yesterday, me and my friend Audrey, we got konnichiwa, and my Audrey was just like, can you just please leave us alone? You're making me very uncomfortable. And I think for the most part you can like that will do, but like for the really dangerous people, just run.
Maybe not run,
but or just like go to someone, say go to another girly, like go indoors. Like I was followed someplace, but I like near my house, and I just walked to Sainsbury's until like they left.
Ask for Angela.
Ask for Angela if you're at a bar.
But it's a real thing. And also like I'm not gonna lie, in the UK like Asians are quite fetishized as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you have that kind of worry as well, in my opinion, especially like and an environment in the UK, like I didn't hear this a lot back home, but spiking is a thing here. So honestly, like as a girl, as a woman,
not just even an Asian woman,
just as a woman in general, like you have to be a lot more alert and aware, and especially in big cities. Like no matter if you're in London, if you're in like Manchester or whatnot, like
And it comes back to the debate, though, I think, of, like, victim blaming. Like, to what extent am I gonna, like, limit my life because of my fears of what other people are going to do for me? And I hear it, and obviously if you're on a night out, get the drink, babes. Get the vodka cranberry. But just be careful, like, make sure your drink, it doesn't look like extra fizzy when you come back and it's like been an hour.
Yeah.
If you've been away for an hour, maybe don't go for the vodka cranberry, get a new one.
No, but I was like, you know what's an important thing actually to like be aware of?
Yeah.
Make sure you have good friends you're going clubbing with.
100%.
Cause like you have to make sure you're going clubbing with people that you know will take you home and not just like dump you outside, right?
Yeah.
Like I knew this girl and she went out clubbing with these people that she just met. Obviously it's freshers, you're not really close with anyone just yet. So you're just trying to make friends. You're going out with whoever's asking you to go out. But she was fully drunk that night at the club. And this girl just called her to Uber back home alone.
Disgusting.
And Uber didn't even take her back fully to the student common. She was just wandering around around completely drunk and out of it. And only until like some really nice stranger came up and helped her But like that's the thing, and when that happens, you really have to look at someone at a different light. Like don't think that because you're a fresher that you can just let that shit go and like be friendly with everyone, because when that shit happens, you have to respect yourself first.
Yeah, I think on top of finding good friends, be a good friend.
Yes.
Which leads us very nicely to our next topic.
What is it?
Under the same umbrella of the hardest thing you've had to endure whilst coming to the UK. Friends in general.
It's hard.
It's very difficult. Would you like to share your experiences or like what you found difficult about making friends in the UK? As
an international girly, I think for me I was quite in shock, but I had this kind of like pointed out to me by my parents before I came here. A lot of your friends in uni isn't friends that like you're gonna be hanging out with for your lifetime. If they are, then like that's amazing. But a lot of times what I found when I went into uni was, and people share the same experience, which is I couldn't like just sit there and like have a deep chat with some of my uni friends.
Yeah, I still don't think, I've been at uni for a year and I still don't think I've found like people that like, I don't know, that like it just doesn't hit the same as your high school friends.
No, it doesn't. No.
And I think like the structure of uni doesn't help it to extent.
Yeah. Because you're so busy with your own life.
You're so busy with your own life. Everybody has such a different schedule. And I think this is not just like an international problem. It's more like a high school to uni problem.
Yeah. Someone once said to me, it's like when you're in high school, right? You're all in the same environment. You're all going to class together. You
have the same bitch ass teachers that you
exactly. But like now, you have to actively make time for these people that are now your friends.
Yeah.
And that's difficult at times, especially when like, if you're me, like sometimes I really value just like being in my room alone, and I can fall into a trap of that sometimes.
Okay, so what's your best advice about like this friendship hurdle?
Girl, if someone could give me advice, I would take it right now.
Yeah.
What would your advice be?
Well, I am quite secure in my friendships.
That's good. Good for you.
Thank you. I think the number one thing about in friendships in general is just like you have to obviously be your own best friend. Like, you can't. I think a lot of the sadness and like insecurities with friendship comes from like you not loving yourself enough, which is like blah 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 blah. But like, learning to be enough and your company being enough is number one.
Yeah, true.
And then that's just like the self-healing you gotta do first. But then like obviously I can love myself as much as I want. I still want a bestie to go to Pret with. So I think
that's sort of random.
I think like I think it's fairly easy to get like surface level friends. I think if you're just like, this is very simple advice, but it really goes a long way, and I still use this advice like every single day. Just like, if you're a girl, it's so easy to make friends. Like, just like compliment her nails, Look at her face. What makeup did she do that you think is pretty? Like today, like a barista, I was like, oh my god, your blush is so cute. Or like I went to Wasabi and like the cashier had an amazing eyeliner. 40-year-old woman still giving sharp, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love your eyeliner. And like little things like that goes a very long way, especially in uni and like making surface level friends. It will take you far. But I think deeper level friends you will find more in societies, or I think it's really easy to, like, when you're a uni student, to be trapped in finding friends in uni, but it's also like friends outside of uni is very important to make as well, and can be very, very supportive in a way that you can't expect. So I think a lot of my main friends are actually outside of uni, and so I think, yeah, like not focusing, because like it just might not be your people, you know, like your uni, like UCL is a very like privileged, like private school background, and like I honestly don't vibe with, you know, that type of people a lot, so I make a lot of my friends outside, and I think that's perfectly fine. You just have to like find your people, find your opening liners, and your people will come to you. I think that's my advice.
Yeah, I think this was true when I first came, and everyone was just kind of like, everyone here is to make friends. Like, first week, everyone is just here to do the same as you.
I didn't do freshers, so I have no advice for this.
But, yeah, I made the mistake. First of all, don't make this a mistake. I mean, you can, and end up like me, but I bought the wrong freshers clubbing tickets.
Or no.
I bought the London Freshers Week one, which was...
Also, can we do freshers next year? Because I feel like I've missed out and I want to do freshers.
I don't know if I really want to like party.
No,
like,
come on, you make this experience for me.
We're gonna be like 20. We're gonna be 20 when this happens.
We'll pretend we're 18, but continue. You bought the wrong one.
I bought the wrong one. Basically, there was like an Instagram account with London Freshers. Yeah. UCL London Freshers.
Yeah.
And there was a London Freshers Week, and I bought tickets for that. It was cheaper, but there was a student union one at UCL that is the main one that you should actually be buying if you want to be making friends with people in UCL. But, granted, okay, I did meet one of my now really good friends from one of the clubbing events there.
Who?
Matthew!
Oh!
Shout out Matthew.
I'm about to meet him tomorrow.
Yeah.
No.
Saturday.
Yeah, wait, the day after tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
Look forward to meeting you.
Love to him. He's a good friend. And he doesn't go to UCL. He goes to City. So maybe that's kind of the vibe you want. But I'm not gonna lie, like that clubbing event was empty. So maybe buy the student union one, and especially if you're living in student accommodation, you'll be going with everyone to that same event. So it's a time to like pre and bond, especially if you have more like room flatmates that like clubbing also. That could be a way to go. But again, if clubbing isn't your thing, I don't think it's necessarily the best way to make friends either anyways. Yep. Because you're just screaming over each other in the club, being like, hi, what's your name, what do you do, oh my god, but like the entire time you can't hear what the other person is saying. You're just nodding and be like, yeah.
I think like you're more of like the clubbing friendship route. Really? Maybe?
I haven't gone clubbing in a while, to be fair.
As in, like, at least you made a lot more of your friendships through clubbing? No?
I've spoken to... Thing is...
You've spoken to more people through clubbing.
Yeah,
like,
I would say
your
so.
first avenue was more clubbing, but I think my avenue of making friends was a bit different.
Yeah.
I don't club. So we're just giving you different ways that you can make friends. So obviously, she went the clubbing route. And I started late, so a lot of the friends I made in uni were like society friends, especially stage crew. Love everyone there. But like if you have like a lame, not saying stage crew is lame, but or even like film suck. If you have like a niche interest, like you will find your people. There are so many clubs and societies. You will find your people. Just throw yourself into the activities that they have. I know it can seem really daunting to like sign up to activities and be like, oh, but there's already like, you know, a set of people that go, and it's like, will I not fit in? But just like charge it, just go, bring energy, bring yourself, bring your true authentic self, and people will respond. And if you just consistently show up, you'll find your people.
See, that's where I struggle.
Yeah, no, I've just
I don't really do that.
like I just consistently show up in the Bloomsbury Theatre, and I have found my friends there.
Yeah, that's cute.
Shout out everyone who was on K-pop night.
Also,
yeah.
one thing, I thought I would make friends through Abacus, because that's kind of the route I thought I'd make friends with, because those are like whitewashed Asians.
Yeah.
But all of Abacus events are clubbing events, and they're expensive. Like their boat party was £70.
And it can also get kind of tiring, I think, clubbing events.
Yeah, I once lined up. Okay, love to like Abacus. Like you guys are doing great.
I've been to one Abacus event. It was kind of cute.
It was cute, but like
met some cute people.
I went to one of their Chinese New Year clubbing events. I waited an hour outside to get into that club, and that is not acceptable. Like.
Yeah,
it was crazy. And like it shouldn't be like it was empty inside. Like everyone was just waiting outside. But yeah, a bit.
So, clubbing, society, and I feel like it's really important to also know that everyone's struggling and everyone finds it difficult. Like even if on surface level, like I probably see her and her clubbing and like conversation friends, I'm like I'm jealous of that. But you also probably see me and my friends outside school, and you're like, oh, like I'm jealous of that. 100%. So like everyone is insecure in whatever position they are, and like knowing that kind of gives you power in a way to be like, you're just as insecure as I am, so just approach the person you think is nice. Just approach the society that you kind of want to get involved with. And if they reject you, it's their fault, because we are lovely people and deserving of amazing friendships, and they've deprived themselves of a beautiful friendship. So fuck them!
Yeah, but if you want to be my friend, I would love that.
Yeah, be friends.
Because I ain't got that many.
No,
not here at least.
Yeah. But I think that's good for friends. I'll add just like a little final thing for making friends outside of uni. I think work is a really good way. I think a lot of my friends have like work friends of like they work at a random pub and they're just like best friends with the people that they have shifts with.
Cute.
In the same way where like a lot of my closest friends are people that I've met through work, or I'm a dancer. So like just sign up. If you're like a dancer, it's the easiest way to make friends in London, honestly. Join a dance crew, go to a dance class, get people's Instagrams, and then respond to their stories. And then
that's a good way, actually.
That is the way to make friends. And then when you see them in real life, I literally do this line all the time. Oh my god, that post you made, you ate that, like that dress looks so good on you. And then people will just like you. You just need to like, just be a bit more brazen, put yourself a bit more out there.
You're actually so real for that, because the friend group I currently have in my course, one of the girls texted, she replied to one of my Instagram photos, one of my stories, and was like, oh, you look so pretty.
Yeah, and it made you feel better.
It made me feel better, and I walked up to her and I was like, girl, like, thank you so much, I love your hair, and then we became friends.
And then, oh, you want to go Pratt? Let's go Pratt. Like,
we went to Taco Bell that day.
Literally, like, or like,
literally
don't be scared to ask someone to hang out for like a lunch, or like after a tutorial, be like, oh my god, like I'm like a bit starved, I want something sweet, like do you mind going to the cafe? Like, oh, like I really want to go to a cafe, like I'd want you to come with me, like I don't want to go alone. Like that itself is enough. I did that today. Like I was like Madiwa, love you girly, but I was like really like loving convo with this one girly, and she asked me, oh, like I want something sweet, like let's go get something. I'm like, heck yeah. And then after the lecture, I was like, well, I'm craving something salty now. Can we get dinner? And she's like, yeah.
Oh, cute.
You know what I mean? And like, it's
that's
like,
cute.
and like I like really see her as like someone that I really like on my course that like.
Was this today?
Yeah.
So why the hell did you turn up with no dinner?
Well, that was dinner time, but that was my breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I see what you mean.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap. So friends, first of all, start healing your relationship with yourself.
Not easy though, come on.
You just do it. Clubbing, societies, outside of friends. Good avenues are, just asking for very casual meetups, or responding to Instagram stories, which I think is like a very underrated way of becoming friends.
No,
and also little compliments go a long way, even with guys.
True, actually. Guys are very compliment deprived.
Yeah, like I went up to a guy and I was like, I love your fit. It's giving.
But if a guy came up to me to say that, I might be a bit scared.
Yeah.
No offense.
If you're a guy, maybe like, don't do it in a predatory way.
Yeah, do it like a nice way.
If you're a girly, don't be afraid to, like, these tactics aren't just for female friendships. Like, you can respond to a guy's story and be platonic if you, like, make it out that way. But also, if you want a relationship, like, that's also a way. But that's besides the point.
But don't do that if he has a girlfriend, because you want to be a girl's girl. You want to be a girl's girl.
But we're kind of sidetracked here. Anyway, we've given you many different avenues, many different specific actions you can take if you want to make friends. I feel like
I'm not qualified to give my opinion though.
No. We are. And it's like, and even that, like, even though we've been, you know, here for like a year and like, you know, we've been trying, like, we still feel insecure, and everybody will, and I don't think that insecurity will ever really go away. No. So find comfort in that, and like find comfort in knowing everybody's pretty much similar. And even then, like, there will always be like little cliques in your course. You know?
True. And it's quite
there will be cliques. There will be a group of white girls. There will be a group of Asian people. Like, and just know, even though they seem very secure, you bet your ass that they probably aren't very insecure. They probably aren't very secure in those friendships. And at the end of the day, it's not a comparison thing. You find your own people, like we found each other.
We found each other like years ago. Like we met each other since like 6 years old.
Yeah, but that's also a thing. Like, if you know someone that's in the same uni as you, that you know previously, like Yvonne that we met in the student randomly, and we'd not really spoken to her during school, but we knew of each other, and we had like a really cute convo together. Yeah. And like, you just never know. Everyone's trying to make friends. Reach out, and you never know what you're going to find. And I'm excited for our journey as well as whoever's watching's journey.
You're making it sound like such a big thing, but what I know, my journey is gonna be me binging on Netflix.
And that's fine too. And that's completely fine as well. You will find your people, and that's okay. It's a really difficult thing to endure, but it's part of the fun.
It is, in a way.
Yeah. Should we talk about a bit more nuanced, like, progression from friendship? But like being actively aware of your race in interactions.
Oh wow, this is like a little topic. I had a little mental breakdown over the other day.
But it's a very valid like insecurity or moment to have.
It is.
And I think it will, if you're an ethnic minority coming to the UK, or like just any like white dominated country, it will be something that you can kind of anticipate feeling, because I think it's quite a universal experience, like, because like coming from a homogenous country, like, you're gonna be forced into being actively aware of your race, and I'll let you take it from there.
I think for me, I had a little mental breakdown the other day about this whole situation, but it's just because like I like back in Hong Kong, there's such a massive thing with like white envy, like the envy of like, if you're fully Asian and you see people that are like white, they're automatically in your head, they're rich, they're successful, and that's kind of how you see it when you're in an Asian country. And so,
because it's like they've got to be rich or successful to be in Asia doing the madness in their mansion.
And it doesn't even, because like it gets worse when you come here, because everyone's in private school, educated, and like it's a bit annoying, because now you're like, oh, brilliant, like. And especially when I first came to the UK to do GCSEs, I thought that everyone called me the white girl in school just because I predominantly spoke English. I just liked speaking English.
Like when you were in Hong Kong?
Yeah. I came here, I was bottom set English. Like, and I thought I was good at English. And all of a sudden, like, I'm literally like they were teaching me how to use basic grammar. That's how shit they thought I was.
I felt that.
And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be like good at when I was back in Hong Kong.
This is the one thing that I was better than everyone else.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me this is the default setting?
Yeah.
The frick?
I mean, I felt good that I suddenly was like okay at math. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
You know, and I was like, the whole point that I didn't do DSE was because I'm really shit at Chinese, and I'm not even good at the language I'm supposed to be good at.
I feel that. Like, I was similar situation, like, we're not that great at Chinese, not that great at like science, and like literature, history was like my thing, you know, like liberal studies was like my thing. So I came here, I chose politics, literature, history for my subjects, and during class discussions I had never felt more stupid in the subjects that I felt so confident in. I was like, you were using words I've never heard of before.
Like, someone bring me a dictionary, like, ASAP.
Yeah, and like you become so actively aware of like your grammatical mistakes that like you just inherently have because of like how you spoke.
Yeah.
Like at least I did, or like, you know, like it was just come so effortlessly to them, like, you know, basic grammar principles or like basic like words. But for me, it's like you still had to like give it a think, and because like. Especially when you especially because I came from Hong Kong. I think we have a bit of a different experience on this, but I had like mainly Canto speaking friends. Like for a good bit before I came, like we were friends before, but like after she left me, I was mainly with Canto speaking friends, and I would speak sort of like a mix, like, you know, like Chinglish, like a mixture of Cantonese and English, and I would still be revered as, you know, someone really good at English, even though I was speaking Chinglish, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but then I came over, and still some of those tendencies and grammatical tendencies or certain pronunciations I would still have, or like still have in certain sentence structures I would still retain. And then you would just be so actively aware that I'm not speaking like the rest of the people in this room.
Yeah, no.
And I still don't.
You know what was the most stupid moment ever?
Yeah.
I had to watch Billy Elliot for my drama GCSE.
Yeah.
And then they were speaking in a Geordie accent. And I think another accent as well. I can't remember. I think it was a northern versus southern. No, they're like proper northern accents, like Scouse, like.
Not the Scouse.
I don't think it's Scouse accent, but like don't quote me on that. But yeah, I could not understand a single word. And because in my head, right, when I first moved here, I thought people just had like a British accent.
Southern British accent.
A southern posh British accent. And then I come here and then I need to watch this entire thing for like 50% of my grade, and suddenly I'm like, what the fuck going on?
Literally. Wait, let me just check the lighting on this. 8,000, that's kind of crazy. Let me just change the lighting settings real quick.
Yeah. Also, there was this one guy.
Keep talking.
In my year that had a Scouse accent, and I thought he was joking. I thought he was just kidding.
Oh my god.
Because everyone was like copying him, because like everyone is like a posh Midlands boy.
Yeah.
And they were just like, they thought it was so cool for some apparent reason that he had a Scouse accent.
Crazy.
So I thought it was a joke accent.
No, I think I had a bit of a different experience as well, because I went to Oxford. Not Oxford University. I went Oxford City, Headington School. And people had southern British accents, so just like a normal posh British accent that you see on TV. But even then, I think it took me like a good month to like understand what people were actually saying.
Yeah.
Like even just the normal British accent was difficult for me to understand, and I would have to go, wait, what did you say?
Yeah.
And then like a particularly stupid moment was when I had like a Scottish teacher.
Right.
And he was teaching me politics, and he was saying power, you know, the power politics. I'm like, power? Like PAR, power? And I was like, what's power? And he's like, power? I was like, PAR? And he was like, no, like shower power. And it was power.
Power!
He was saying power.
Power.
And I was like, that sounds borderline Chinese. Power. But that's something that you will feel, like, back to the topic of like
like, even if
feeling-
you think you're fluent in English, you're not fluent in English here.
Yeah.
And people will make fun of your American accent as well.
Even when you, because I feel like before I came here, I still had a little twang of Chinese accent. I can't lie.
Right.
Even though I'm very aware that I'm very privileged in the sense that I have, I'm privileged in a way that I can acclimate more seamlessly. But I had like a standard British English speaking, because we were trained to speak it speak like perfect, not perfect, but like legible English. So like we don't have like a thick Chinese accent. But
Shout out Disney for that.
Shout out Disney for that.
Yeah, it's not like both of our parents have crazy good English.
No, they don't speak a lick. But like even coming here, I still think I had a little bit of an accent. It's just like unavoidable. But even when you kind of escape that and you start to get this like international accent, you will always be treated a little bit like the international girl. Like,
it's not really a problem. Like,
not
especially
really a
if you come from like, if you're in Hong Kong and you go to international school. We didn't. That's why.
yeah, we didn't.
Yeah. But because I spoke English, everyone just called me that anyways. Fucking Marino.
I was not. I was revered as like the ABC, just not to the furthest, not to that extent, because I feel like I would still use Canto a bit more.
Yeah,
But I feel like I actively tried to like be more Cantonese before I left though. Like I was listening to Mirror and
that phase.
I was an OG, like what other any other thoughts on this topic?
Not really. Like I feel like if you just come here, you'll kind of experience it yourself. Like it's not really that big of a deal. It's just you'll just be more aware of like stuff that maybe you thought you were good at here. It's not, like, especially if you're like writing essays, right? If you're going straight into uni, but ChatGPT is gonna help you. Just put in rephrase.
Yeah.
And they'll make you sound like a freaking genius.
Yeah.
So.
And obviously, like, it will make you feel a bit lonely. I think these feelings, like, you can't help but feel a bit lonely. I think uni a bit less so, but in high school, like, it definitely made me feel a bit lonely being like the only Asian person in my set. But I think, it's something that it's not difficult to get past. It will always be there, but, just embrace it a little.
Yeah.
Embrace it, be like, yeah, I'm an international school kid. Yeah, my grammar's not good. Can you speak freaking Cantonese? I don't think you can.
No, exactly. Like all of these people that are judging you, they probably like know they're like literally just English.
Yeah.
So come on now.
They can take their posh accents up somewhere else. Okay, so those were the main hardest things we had to endure in the UK. Should we talk about loneliness?
We kind of did already, It kind of wraps around with like friendships.
Okay, we can move on to the next question, which I think can be the next episode. We can still talk about it.
What is it?
Something you wish you know before you came to the UK. Let's just do the next episode. Let's not make these too long. Let's cut to the next episode. Let's do a little outro. Okay, so that was the first episode of Chat Give You Tea. Way.